Right before we get into the boss here, I would just like to say a couple things. So, I am not, like, by far the sweatiest of Vampire Slayers. It's fine. I have 86 currently tier 5 kills. My average boss time is like 120 seconds, which is seen as okay. So, obviously there's going to be some better players out there. So this is not like the absolute 100% flawless, bosses and how you're supposed to do it every time. But I've been practicing. I've been playing around some actual good players, so I've been learning. So let's hop into the boss. I'll be explaining kind of what I'm doing and what's going on, and this guide or little video explanation will be assuming that you have killed a tier 4 vamp, just to kind of make it more easy to explain. Okay, so the first thing to watch here when spawning the boss is the I-core. I-core is a little head on the ground that you have to launch a twin claws into. So we're going to completely ignore it here. You see it spawn right next to the boss. We're going to completely ignore it and knock it into the first Mania phase, because Mania is the easiest place to knock twin claws into I-cores. So of course just following the impels. The impels are a fair bit faster from tier 4s if you've never done it. I believe it's 1.5 seconds. I don't know what tier 4 is, but they come a lot more frequently and a lot quicker, so you got to be paying attention. One thing to note is that when you're in Mania, if you don't have an I-core, you can pretty easily dodge Twin Claws most of the time. It's a lot easier on the outer two layers than it is in the inner two, and you can also skip the last Mania, because it doesn't actually damage you. Now here come the Clot Goyles. Our goal here is to once again just completely ignore them. We just want to keep hitting the boss. It's just the best for getting faster boss times. Knocking into the second Mania, I believe throughout that sequence we ended up actually getting the core that we needed to get. So now we're just kind of waiting here trying to just stay alive. It's pretty simple. You just stay alive through Mania phases. It's nothing crazy. Just doing impels. It's a little bit boring, this part of the boss. It's not when you're doing it, because you're kind of having to be focused. But again, here once we hit about 3 seconds, we will just stand next to the boss, weirder tuba to get extra damage, and then go back in. So normally when you're doing these bosses solo, the Killer Spring is something that you'd have to get, but I don't actually get it because I'm with my co-op, so he gets it for me. But if you're doing it solo, you want to knock it into Mania and have the Mania be close to the spring, so then you can end up getting in spring. There's another I-core over there, a little bit of a rough spawn, but that happens sometimes. It's pretty easy to aim though with the Twin Claws. If you've never done tier 5, the I-cores are not nearly as big of a problem as they seem to be. And then coming to the last phase here, I believe we had multiple people coming to loot shares, so I did kind of just back off this boss a little bit. Just usually you don't need to unless there's like 3 people trying to loot share, because one of them will stake and then the other 2 will DPS. Then you kind of want to stay away from your boss. But there you go, boss done. Very simple.